my name is AANSIKA A. I am 12 years old. I can proudly say that I'm from the school Sjkt Tapah. The code of my school is ABD0073. Well, if I'm being totally honest, the favorite thing to do in my free times is not reading books. I actually like doing something else. But when I saw this book in the library, it immediately caught my attention. I grabbed this book immediately and started to read up on it. As soon as I started to read this book, I realized that this book relates to me so much. If you're wondering what book this is, the title of this book is Thomas Alva Edison. So basically, this book is all about Thomas Alva Edison, about the person who made a huge history. Thomas Alva Edison had invented hundreds of things: a light bulb, movies, and even record players. These items sound familiar, doesn't it? Yes, the first electrical light bulb was invented by Thomas Alva Edison. Without him, we won't have a bright world. We would be probably just using oil light lamps, which are not that convenient. But the bulb that Thomas Alva Edison invented is so much convenient, and the LED lights or any other type of lights were just more popular because they were invented by him. But he just invented the bulb light. But people, as time went on, people started to invent more of these items. Well, he also invented so many more things. But when I read this book was so motivational and inspiring. I loved this book because this book has 42 pages. But you guys might be thinking this book is not that long. But even if it's a small story, it still is really inspiring. I love this book. This book is written by Michelle Lin. This book is published by rhythmpublishing.co.sdn.bhd. Well, I think they did a really good job with illustrating these books. I really like the pictures in this book. The illustrator of this book is Yu Ka Wei. Well, if we could take any lessons from this book, I would say you should never give up on your dreams because Thomas Alva Edison got kicked out of his school when he was just 7. His school just lasted for 3 months. Imagine how sad that is. The principal called him over and then told him to bring his mother to the school tomorrow. And so he did bring his mother. And then when he brought his mother, the principal told his mother that he is not well educated to be in this amazing school. And his mother was really sad because she thought that he was smart. But his mother never gave up on him. She kept encouraging him and she taught him by herself at home. She was very patient. Like we all should be patient in our life because we're just students. We have so much more to go through. If we want to get good grades, we can't just get them immediately. Like we just study for one day and the exam is tomorrow, we can't get good grades. We have to study every single day to get good grades. We have to be dedicated enough if we want to achieve our dreams. And Thomas Alva Edison also lost his hearing when he was just 15 years old. Isn't that so sad? It is very, very sad. But just like I said, he never gave up. He kept conducting experiments and experiments. Well, if you're wondering how he lost his hearings, when he was the age of 15, he wanted to make money so he could conduct an experiment. But he didn't have any money because he was just a small boy at the age of 15. So what he did was he went on a train every day and tried to sell the passengers newspaper and candies. Well, they did seem to be going well. But Thomas Alva Edison also set up a laboratory in the train, which didn't go really well because one day a stick of phosphorus, which is known as a chemical that could start a fire, fell on all of his newspaper and lit up the train. The train owner was really mad and pinched him really hard in the ear. And he felt a really sharp pain. And that's how he lost his hearings. But that did not discourage him. He kept going. Well, I think we should be all like him. Sometimes we get discouraged a lot. Like we won in a competition, we go tell our parents. Some parents would probably be like, you won, that's not good enough. You have to win many competitions. And we would be discouraged, right? But Thomas Alva Edison was never discouraged. His father always told him that it was a huge waste of time. And when he opened his factory, he was challenged and discouraged by the workers too. When he said he can make a tool that can save a sound and play it back whenever he wants, the workers said, that is impossible. That's never gonna happen. And Thomas Alva Edison said, I will make it happen. He never gave up. Even when he gets discouraged, he kept going on and on. Just like that, when we get a bad grade or we fail an exam, for example, we just get discouraged so much. We get an F in our exam, we just give up forever. Sometimes. Well, some of us have to keep going. All of us has to keep going, but some of us just gets really discouraged and never studies again because they think if they study again, their hard work is gonna be gone, just like it did later. But it will not be gone. If we put so much dedication in what we want to do, it will be perfect. Just like Thomas Alva Edison put so much dedication. He went to the library every day to read the books about chemistry and to conduct an experiment. Just like Albert Einstein said, the only location you need to know is the library, right? We have to go to the library every day to learn. Well, the moral value of this story is you should never give up on your dreams. Doesn't this story is interesting, right? Yes, it's very, very interesting. We should all be like him. And there are some simple characters in the story that you might be wondering who they are. It's Mrs. Edison, Mr. Edison, Thomas Alva Edison, and the principal. If you're wondering where the principal came from, like I said in the beginning, when he went to the school when he was just 7, there was the principal at that scene. He kicked him out of the school. That is very, very sad. But he kept on going till he achieved what he achieved. Yes, just like him, we should all be hardworking till we get what we want. I give this book like a 10 out of 10. This book doesn't have so many pages, but I think it's still a really motivational story. I think we should read up on this book. I wish this book was more famous so all of us could learn this book. But apparently it's not that famous and we all need to learn from him. You know one thing? We love watching movies, right? But if Thomas Alva Edison never invented a motion picture camera, we won't even have movies nowadays because he invented them at a factory when he was youthful. When he started working at a factory, he promised the factory that he would make small creations once a month and huge creation once in 6 months. And we can say that he is a man of his words. He did keep up with that promise. And just like that, he kept up with his promise, and I think we should always keep up with our promise too, because sometimes we just unexpectedly make promises with our friends, our family members, neighbors, it could be anyone. And then we never do the promise that we told them we would do. We also never keep secrets. That is not a good thing. We should keep secrets and we always should do the promise we did. We should keep the promise and we should never break the promise, just like Thomas Alva Edison did it. I think we should all be like him so we could hold up his legacy. If you're wondering, why is he not this famous? We don't know because he was in the olden days. It's been 70 years since his death. So nobody knows him very, very much eventually. That is so sad, isn't it? But his story is extremely interesting and motivating and inspiring. If you probably read this book at least one time, you would want to read this book again and again and again because it's so interesting. Well, I really like the photos. They are really simple to understand. Like if you don't know what they are meaning in this book, there is also some great meaning to this book. If you don't know a word and the word is like very unique and hard to understand, they also like put the word's meaning on underneath the book, which is really great and simple for all of us to learn a new word or learn something that we never learned before. Well, I think that we learned so much today in this video. This book deserves so much famousness, but it's just not popular. But we think that we should make this book really, really popular because so everyone can be inspired and motivated by Thomas Alva Edison, a person who made history. Thank you.